And welcome back, and we're moving into our third and final conversation for this lovely Wednesday morning, actually. Department of Youth Service National Youth Award. I got to understand that the nominations are already, they've started already, and so we have the folks in to tell us all about it. As a matter of fact, in with us is Lisa Lewis, who is the Youth Empowerment Coordinator at the Department of Youth Services. And of course, Renata Samuels, who is the Public Relations Officer at the Department of Youth Services, Public Relations and Youth Intern Officer. Like she's wearing the most hat. You're wearing the most hats.
I like my quotations too to help me.
Definitely. So good morning. It's so nice to see you guys.
It's nice to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having us in the first place.
Yeah. You know what? The vibe is so good. And I love it, and I can't wait to delve directly into what we're about to chat about. Department of Youth Services and this National Youth Award. It's not the first time we've been hearing about it.
Oh, no.
So let's jump into it. What is this?
It's a celebration of youth, like I was telling you. We have to celebrate our youth, you know, because we've been doing so much in our communities, in other lives. We're impacting people, and it's time to just give a little bit of recognition for all you're doing, all those hard works, all those endeavors, those initiatives, your projects, your proposals, everything that you're pushing for. It's time to recognize it, right? And it's a night to just come, just unwind, have it's a red carpet gala kind of event. So you come out in your Sunday's best. You know, everything makeup done and everything fancy dress. I have to sell it because you have to understand, like, it's a time that you can really come out and have a show about themselves. That showcase themselves.
You can't be that, while youth celebrating themselves. I think this is one of the best ways we could actually celebrate youth. Now, who can be nominated?
Anybody can be nominated in a way. It starts at age 15 to 29. Specifically, we're looking for young people. And according to the nomination form, you have to be age 15 to 29. You have to be a young person involved in youth work. Specifically, we're looking towards the Sustainable Development Goals. So that 2030 agenda, if you're doing work to help achieve the 2030 agenda, that means you're more than likely liable to nominate. The other thing is you cannot nominate yourself for the Youth Awards, of course. Somebody has to nominate. You cannot.
Has to profile. No. I mean, you could do a hint. You could be like, Lisa, please nominate me, girl. You know what? You could even be smart and like fill out the whole thing for Lisa. Yes. And then, like, if you want to be smart about it, but at the end of the day, you personally can't nominate yourself.
No, you can't.
But it's open to anyone to nominate you. Really, you don't have to be specifically in a youth group, but doing youth work. Right? So we don't give you that, marker that you have to be.
Do you have to be a youth to nominate a youth?
No, not exactly.
Not exactly.
We're looking, the young person is getting the award, but they don't have to be, it doesn't have to be a young person being the nominator.
All right. Now, over the years, I'm sure that you have seen exceptional young people being identified that perhaps aren't even associated with the Department of Youth Services doing things on their own. How do you make your decision?
That's the question. Well, youth awards are a big deal. So what we do, we gather a panelist of persons that would select after the nominations are over to select the most excellent, the most outstanding, the most deserving young person. And these aren't just, they're specifically selected, the panelists that do the selection. So they're from different areas of expertise.
So we have like 2 government organization operatives. We have one from the Department of Youth Services, and then we have 2 youth that represent an NGO or so forth, or an organization. So they're very structured. It's not biased in any kind of way. It's open. They are just going to be the best decision who really deserves this award in the first place.
Yes. And it all depends on your application. We have a section in the application actually where you can post pictures of the kind of work you've been doing, and in addition to that, you must also put up references. You must have 2 references, and you must also show photos of you doing whatever work you do, or whatever type of work you do.
How do I know that someone, I mean, I can think of many outstanding young people, but how do I know that they meet the criteria for the Youth Awards? What are you looking for?
For the criteria exactly for the Youth Awards? Well, they have to be the age first
age,
of all. We're
age,
looking at the
okay.
age, but they have to be doing significant work for over a year
Okay.
in whatever they're nominated. So if they're an entrepreneur, they have to be doing with businesses and doing push youth work for over a year in their business, right? So we look into that as well as be continuing it for our next year to come and be able to actually, if the department requires them to work along with us for something, be able to do that as well. There's like several other criterias to it. What else they have?
They must also be they must have some type of community reputation. So we're looking for young people that have already made somewhat of a reputation for themselves, and so that when we go into the community or we do a background check or when they're being questioned by the panelists, they can be recognized, and we know that this is an outstanding person. Their reputation matches their work.
And you know, it does say here awards. So what are the various categories?
Ooh, let me start with my favorite.
Oh my God.
My favorite, which is kind of new this year, is this Outstanding Student Government Award.
Wow.
I believe that the universities and the different junior colleges, we have these student governments and they do so much. Some of them they don't get recognized, and I am dying to see which ones are going to get nominated and to see the photos and to hear about the work that they have been doing.
You know, I love the fact that you branch off into this, because what it does, it actually enables other youth or other students to want to be a part of a student government.
That's one of the goals
which
too as well.
enhances their resume.
Well, I like the fact that the student governments will now compete on doing even more.
Exactly, that's the idea.
Yes, so
imagine all these brilliant tertiary level or secondary level students going beyond their schools to help out or to contribute back towards the society. So that's, I love that.
Exactly.
Reason to be excited, Lisa.
But you did give us one of the categories. Can you tell us that?
All right, let me keep the list.
Yeah,
We have a list of
long list, right?
It's a long list. The first
So here we
is
go.
youth in agriculture. And these persons must demonstrate a significant progress through agricultural pursuits. The second one is Differently Abled Award, or diverse abilities, some persons might see. Another is a corporate sponsor award, because we can't do it on our own. We have sponsors, and young people often get the help on sponsorship from other corporate agencies, and we want to recognize them. We also have Youth Enterprise Award. I think Renata touched on that a bit earlier. Innovation Award, another one I'm a bit excited about. And Environmental Award, Youth Club or Youth Group Award, Volunteerism, Community Service Award, Strength Through Diversity Award. Now this one is a bit special because it's not exactly a young person that's been maybe in a youth group, in a youth club doing this type of work, but it's a person that has grown through tremendous circumstances. It's that one young person that you thought might not have been here, but he's doing it or she's doing it, and
they push through, and their story is making an impact in everyone's lives. So they're unattached to a real youth group or so, but their cause is still pushing forth there. So we want to recognize you for your story as well.
You know, we're finished there, or we have
No, we have more. We have more.
I'm
going to say the second half. I'm getting excited now. She got me all riled up about everything. So we have Outstanding Religious Organization, because we know not all youth groups that are religious organizations are doing a lot of youth work. They're sending out people to be missionaries, going abroad. They're like regionally expanding. So we want to recognize you as well for that too. Excellent. We have Outstanding Youth Musician Award. We have to recognize music. That's going to be fun, because you know a lot of musicians, as you saw KTV. So a lot of people are coming up with their music, their own music. So that would be a nice award to see who wins that. We have Outstanding Youth in Visual Arts. This is granted to someone who excels in visual arting, so painting, sculpting, craft, animation, anything like that, they would be nominated for that particular award. We have Outstanding Youth in Media, so maybe you guys can nominate someone for that.
And the judge,
I'm not judging. I mean, you know, you guys
didn't even joke with us that we're
I might be 27.
29 if you're turning 29 up to December 18th in this year. So,
I've been
if
29 multiple
if you're
times.
still 29 by December 18th, baby Merlin, you
Oh my
can do it
gosh.
too.
You can do it.
Up to what anniversary of my 25th am I allowed?
Yeah.
Remember,
After
somebody has to
the
nominate you
judge.
too.
Okay.
Those criteria is there.
So
We have Youth in Sports Award, and we have two for those. We have one for the female and one for the male.
Yeah.
So we don't leave out anyone.
Beautiful.
We also have Fellow in Youth Development Work. And I love that award because it's an award for an individual or a group that has demonstrated commitment and involvement to the advancement of youth work in total. So that's like really, I think, one of the core of the youth awards, like to recognize someone for their real youth work, their participation.
Yeah.
So that nominee is to be judged by their programs, their proposal, their initiatives, everything that they've been setting forth. That's what they're judged by. We also have Academic Excellence Award. And I mean, that one speaks for itself. Right? And last but not least, Youth Leadership and Advocacy Award, right? And that is like a youth minister award more that they demonstrate or organize groups that are interested in empowering youth.
Yes.
So once they're empowering youth, once they're starting up a revolution, kind of, if you want to say it like that, like they're bringing youth to do their full potential. They would be qualified for that particular
And
award.
we don't like to categorize the awards, but the Youth Leadership, what is the Minister's Award, the Youth Leadership Award and Advocacy Award, it's one of the
It's a top award.
Yes, the top award, because youth leadership is something we're always encouraging and trying to empower other young people. So young persons that actually go out there, and you know it's very hard to have leadership in the country where the minute you try to do something, maybe somebody try to pull you down. And for a young person especially, we want to be recognized, and most of the times we're not recognized for doing good things. So when we take leadership positions, sometimes it can be very intimidating because the first thing you know people will look at are your mistakes and your past failures. So youth in leadership and advocacy, we're really looking forward to this award to see which young people are putting their best foot forward and still going through with their
And I just like to point out, I just feel like on a whole, even if you didn't win an award, to be nominated says a lot too as well. Because to have someone actually think that you're worthy of this award, that you've been doing something in your community, in your country, that says a lot. So, and also, if you did not win the award, you're eligible to be nominated again for this year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Only if you already won an award, then, you know, I mean, you already
give
won
others
it.
a chance.
You don't need a partner award for that.
It's not a collection of youth awards you can collect.
It's to recognize everyone. How do you ensure that you have sufficient coverage of the entire country? Because I know we're in Belize City and we're probably more, we tend to have more visibility for the young people in Belize City. But what about the rest of the country? How do they get on board?
Well, the Department of Youth Services, we have offices located throughout the country. And the different senior managers and senior youth officers in various districts, they're the ones that help to push this agenda outside of Belize City. And furthermore, right now we are trying to geographically locate what areas might be top priorities for us to maybe give an extra push in nominations. Because of course we know in Belize City, it's a heart. But maybe in Punta Gorda or maybe in Corozal, we might not get, so we have to come up with contingency plans to help encourage the different youth officers and the senior youth, the managers in that area to push the nominations and to help encourage going to the schools, going to the communities, and do weekly checkups on how many nominations we have for this week, how many nominations we have for the day, and to keep track like that.
To make sure you get an equal.
You know, one of the things that I think would be very good, you have many nominations in those areas, so you know for a fact that you'll be getting somebody from that particular area. What stick out for me back in the early 90s, I'm not telling them my age, right? Back in the early mid 90s, we had a lot of youth groups. I grew up in Punta Gorda, and we stuck out. We were out there, and you were hearing a lot of things about youth. At this particular point, especially being in the media, I'm not really hearing a lot of things. I could remember Be For Real, that was one of the youth groups down there. Do we have a lot of youth groups that are actually impacting? I know Joseph Stamp Romero, he's always working a lot with, along with youth. Yes. So do we have a lot of this going on? Because we need to engage the youth.
Yes, what we're actually working on right now at the department is coming up with a youth directory with a group with a list, of all the youth groups in Belize, all the organizations that work with young people, or all the different corporate sponsors that usually encourage or maybe hire intern young people. So that's one of our current big projects. And I can say for myself that we have a lot more youth groups in Belize and the different in Belize on a whole than we know. Because through, like I said, the different departments, the different units in the different districts, we can get a hands-on idea of what youth groups do you work with, what young people in your area do you often hear about, and that's how we get the address information and the different things we need to put into the direction for that specific youth group. For example, in Punta Gorda, just until recently, I realized that they have, apart from Thai, that's big in
of course,
in environmental work, there are smaller different youth groups with young people. Maybe they're not a registered NGO, but they're young men. They organize dances. They maybe teach the younger boys. They have different women's group. They do crafts. And just recently, I was at the Belize Expo on Sunday, and I saw a group from Punta Gorda with these young ladies that create these magnificent paintings. They do refrigerator magnets. They do actual canvas paintings. And I asked them, are you guys a youth group? They said, yes, it's E4 Life. They don't have a Facebook page. They don't have a website. They're not out there, but they're a youth group and they're doing amazing work. The minute I saw the paintings, does this young person, and the young person was sitting right to the back. She was right there, and she's like, yes, she's the one that does this. And there's another girl, and there's a whole group of them. It's amazing. Let me get your information so I could add you to the directory.
But you know what? I think that is a classic example, and I think there are many more. You know, we never doubt that there are people in this country that are, there are young people in this country that are doing their own part in their own corner, and perhaps not even looking for the accolades. But this is a great time for you to be able to say thank you to them. Last question, how do we nominate people? Where do we go? Is there an online form? Do we pick up a form? What do we do?
There is both.
Okay.
So there's an online form, and the online form has a link on it. You can go to our Department of Youth Service Facebook page. The link will be there as well. As well as you can pick up a form at any of our centers overall in Belize. So San Pedro, Corozal, everywhere you can pick up a form. Okay. But I mean, people are more
online.
Yeah, online. It's simpler online. I mean, because then you still have
to the department or walk and catch
and you can just get a line.
So I mean, you could also, the online one is sent to the Belize Youth Awards at gmail.com. You send your online application to that.
Okay.
And what's the duration in terms of the
nomination period?
Yes.
So it started right now. September 10th, we opened up nominations.
Okay.
And it closes October 18th. I'm going to say that again because it's really crucial.
Yes.
October
1
18th.
month.
It closes at that
because
date.
Youth Awards is November 2nd.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
And
that's
you
right
gotta do your
around. And we need
internship
time
events
to
that
do,
everyone.
yes, that's why.
Yes.
So
See,
we're
I like
really
that you
hoping
guys do
that,
your due diligence. Great.
yeah, so we need to really push for youth to nominate their friends, nominate people that they see really fit for these awards because they need to be recognized. Elders, everyone needs to see these people and understand that they're doing their work out there. Just because you're not being seen doesn't mean you're not making an impact and you're not doing something. So we want to recognize that.
Beautiful.
And we especially want to demonstrate to policymakers and leaders that young people are capable.
Yeah.
We are capable of doing great things.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in and letting us know all about it. Once again, you have 1 month. There are a number of categories. Contact the youth department, send them the email, get your application form. And if you've noticed a young person in your community, in your village, in your town, or right here in the city who has been doing outstanding work, go ahead and nominate them. Show them that you appreciate the good work that they've been doing. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we'll have our wrap-up, so stay tuned.